Hey everybody, welcome back to another video training series. This video I just want to walk you through and introduce you to some of the currency, because some people are sort of wondering how do you pay Chinese factories, but more importantly, what currencies do Chinese factories sort of deal in. And there's two major currencies: is the US dollar, which is one currency, and the Chinese yuan, or the RMB, or the renminbi. This is it here. I'll just introduce you to some quick currencies, quick notes. One thing necessary for China is a bottle of hand sanitizer. Money is one of the dirtiest things ever, and if you are going to come here, do invest in a bottle of hand sanitizer, right? When you're walking around factories, walking around suppliers, or just doing business meetings, carry a bottle of this around. All right, so this is the one Chinese yuan. Okay, so that's a Chinese yuan. It isn't really worth much. That's the $5 note here, and I'll share a quick tip because there's a lot of counterfeit notes, especially in China. So if you are going to suppliers, or you're dealing with street markets, or going to wholesale markets who deal mainly in the cash, it's a very cash society here in China. They do counterfeit notes here, and it's very common here. So whenever you hand over money, similar to the US, they always scan, always look at it, and look for defects or imperfections. So I'll tell you shortly how to go about finding some of the imperfections. But this is a 10 yuan note, okay, 10 yuan note, and then we've got a 50 here. I don't think I've got any 20s on me. What you're probably used to seeing though is the 100, okay, the 100 yuan note right there, and this is one. It's about $18, $19 Australian. It will be worth about $20 US. I would estimate. But you would mainly, when you are dealing with Chinese factories, or if you're in wholesale markets, usually you pay cash. And a lot of people have problems bringing in cash into the country because you're limited to $10,000. So what you do then is you can either write up a check, or a smart thing to do, which I've mentioned in a previous video, is you contact a specialist when it comes to foreign exchange. You can actually hire, and we've got heaps of contacts, we've built up contacts over the last 2 to 3 years on foreign exchange people who take 0.05%, not 3% what the bank usually charges you, 0.05%. These are the special rates that we've negotiated just for our clients. So if you are wanting to actually pay cash to a lot of wholesale markets, or even suppliers here in China, let us know. But if you are dealing with cash, here's one thing, one of the easiest ways to find out whether or not it's counterfeit. You see there, that was the old, I think it's Mayo. That's what we call him, Mayo here. He founded the people's revolution, and on his collar, if you just zoom in closely there, his collar is kind of you might not be able to see it, but if you're here to touch it, you can run. It's smooth right here, but as you go across the collar, there's a slight abrasive surface right there. So you can actually figure out this. If this was a counterfeit note, it would all be smooth. But just over the collar, you'll feel that it's rough surface just around this collar region. And this is one of the easiest and fastest ways to find out whether or not it's a counterfeit note. And so whenever you get and go to wholesale markets or the street markets, make sure that when you get money back, because sometimes they give you a lot of counterfeit notes back, you run your finger over that. All right. So this is just one quick tip on figuring out in terms of whether it's counterfeit notes, but also when you do come to China, be prepared to pay either in US dollars or the local currency, Chinese yuan, and it largely depends on the product you plan on importing. If it's a highly labor-intensive product, you're most likely going to pay in this, because this is what the factory pays its workers. If it's if it's a techie sort of product, it most likely is going to be US dollars, because they've got to obviously import the electronics from other regions in China. Or if it's a steel product or something bigger like steel, they've got to import that from different countries, perhaps even Australia or India, so they're going to be paying in US dollars. So, but if it's a highly intensive labor product, which is really where you want to start off if you're a beginner importer, be prepared to pay in the Chinese yuan. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you real soon.
To gain access to my free video lessons, where you will discover how to find hot products to import that people want to buy, 7 easy ways to locate quality factories in China that won't rip you off, my secret negotiation strategies to getting great prices from factories, how to sell your goods once they arrive from China, and much more.